Learn programming. Don't let ineffective education sentence you to a lifetime of poverty. Ineffective education is a symptom. Its root cause is uneducated pretenders in leadership positions. Lying always ends in economic collapse that is then swept under the rug by war with the aim to reboot the economy. Normally, pretenders do as little as possible so that they can get away with taking as much as they can. But over time, they slowly forget that they rose to their positions through generational wealth and a fake it until you make it mindset. And they start believing that they really are leaders as they watch themselves age. Here they slip into depression, knowing deep down everything they've ever done was inauthentic and meaningless, and thus has no value to them. And now the good doctor comes about. They receive stimulants for energy, antidepressants to cancel their negative thinking, and some feel-good drug. It works for weeks, maybe months, but there is no such thing as turning off negative thinking. We don't know how any of these drugs really work, and they are only tested for 90 days. But they rarely just turn off one thing. In fact, one researcher says they also turn compassion and empathy off. When the drugs wear off, the more insane and desperate leaders discover that they are in the middle of collapse or war. If they admit it was just medication, they will be destroyed. But if they continue what is just another charade, then they get to look energetic and meaningful and live some more. I repeat, human beings do not start wars unless they had their humanity switched off. Whatever wars are headed our way, they are a result of aging old pretenders on their last desperate twitch. There are no good or logical reasons for war. It is always a mistake made by broken old men who spend their entire lives lying. Only you and all your peers can break this wretched cycle. And the first step towards a safer future is authentic education. The idea of public education is new. We still don't know exactly what education is supposed to be. But you can be sure that when you cram before an exam because you can't understand the textbook, you were manipulated under layers of threats of ridicule or being held back to pretend to learn. Pretending to learn can only result in generation after generation of small-minded human beings who won't even know that war is evil. By pretending to learn, you play into the economic collapse mistakenly created by false leaders who paid their way into leadership fantasies with money they've inherited, and luck and odds and voters they purchased. While we do not have a full picture of what real and effective education is, we know that some paths truly work, that some help the children grow all the way up until they become great beings and authentic leaders. These paths are not obvious. The one I am about to show you will sound strange, optional, difficult, but your opinion of it has been shaped by ineffective education. You've never been to real school. You have been indoctrinated into waiting for your ineffective education to finally start making sense, but it never will. You have been convinced that the grades the teacher used to cover their ass somehow define your level of intelligence, and maybe even your value to the world. You and every other human being belongs to a single family, and we are each capable of genius, brilliance, and infinite creativity. We do it the same way that we learn to navigate through cities. We learn turn by turn. The path is self-directed, self-paced, self-taught. It is aimed towards slowly becoming a computer programmer. Here, you become capable of launching a series of small companies and thus lift yourself out of poverty. This is not one of many paths. This may be the only effective path that we know of, where you can do it all on your own without massive loans, upfront investments, warehouses, or worrying about your products expiring. This is a path towards gaining the ability to tell effective education from ineffective and thus fake education. And it is a path of adventure, of beautiful and life-changing narrated books, a path that leads towards intellectual independence, wisdom, and beyond.